Well, my favorite story about national parks it goes all the way back to when I was 7 years old. My family planned a trip to Yellowstone, and I can remember the last day of school just seeming like it take forever. I got my report card, ran home. Then my mom and dad and my two brothers and I hopped in an old panel wagon and drove to Yellowstone National Park. The panel wagon worked out pretty neat because the folks slept in the back of the panel wagon, and the three boys, we had an old Army surplus tent that we put up and stayed in the tent when we were camping. To show you how things have changed in some of the national parks, one of the first nights, the three boys, we went out and hunted for firewood. Of course, most parks, they don't like you to do that anymore, but we did, and we brought our firewood back and put it under a table. And it rained, and we were the only ones in the campground that had dry firewood. I think it might have been that same night we were sleeping, and to make room for the bed in the back of the panel wagon, we had put our cooler and food out on the table. And of course, that's another no-no in parks now. Most national parks that have bears will have a bear box to store those things in, but we didn't have such a thing. So in the middle of the night, we heard a rustling. I was the one sleeping the longest, but my folks heard the rustling, looked out, and sure enough, there were one or two bears getting into all the food they had left on the table. But the table was between the panel wagon and the tent. And I pretty much slept through it, but my brothers got up and watched the bears, and of course it was kind of an exciting time with the bears being that close, but luckily we got out without any problems, and the rest of our trip was very memorable and a perfect trip.